From the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, welcome to Iowa Live. I am Lou, and it is that time to visit once again with attorney Kim Baer to let you know about some things you really need to know about when it comes to legal stuff. Hi, Kim, how are you?
Good morning, Lou. How are you?
Great. Now, we are going to talk about something that everybody has witnessed if you're watching TV at all. Product cases that are looking to give you a payback.
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought we'd talk about a brand new one that I just recently have been hearing about, and that is the foam that firefighters use to put out fires.
Okay.
So what they're now finding is there's a link between that foam and firefighters developing cancer.
Okay.
And which is so sad because firefighters already put their life on the line.
Absolutely.
They're out there, trying to help all of us. But now they're starting to find scientific links between the foam and people developing cancer.
Is this something that the product manufacturer may have been aware of?
Well, I'll tell you, the litigation's just starting, and that's the allegation. The allegation is that they knew and that this link is being shown. And, that foam is made of synthetic chemicals.
Okay.
And we all know that stuff's not good for you.
Right.
So I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that that is an issue. So if you have been a firefighter in the past and you've used that foam and you've developed some type of cancer, you might want to look into it.
Okay, so this is something you need to get checked out then.
Yes.
And then follow the traces back.
And follow the traces back, and a lawyer who handles these types of claims, should be able to help you.
All right, so there you have it. There's a new one that is out there right now, but there's one that's been around for a little while. We've seen tons of ads about mesothelioma.
Yes. And so I like to talk about it periodically just because I think it's really great to have a reminder that there has been $30 billion, and that's billion with a B, that $30 billion set aside for these claims. And so a lot of times people think, well, I've been diagnosed with it, but I was exposed to asbestos 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, so it's too late. And the statute of limitations runs from the time you're diagnosed with it.
Okay.
So.
And this is something that there's a latency period too. I want you to talk about that because this is really important.
Yes. So what we're seeing is people typically don't develop mesothelioma until they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and sometimes 80s.
Wow.
And mesothelioma is a cancer. It can be a specific cancer in the stomach intestine area, and it also can be a cancer in the lungs. Okay. And it's diagnosed through specific testing. And the people that we are seeing develop it are people that have worked with boilers and brake pads, or if you worked in a yard for ships. Maybe you worked in the service and you worked with ships. And so really anywhere you were working, you were exposed to asbestos because it's the asbestos fibers.
Right. You mentioned, when it comes to the service, a lot of the cases end up being veterans too, right?
Yes, absolutely, a lot of veterans. And these cases, mesothelioma is a deadly disease, and so as a result, that's why we have the $30 billion set aside for these claims. And so these claims, we try to process them quickly so that we can get the people the money if they have a good claim for mesothelioma. Hopefully you don't have it, but if the test shows that you do have it, you should talk to an attorney. Right.
Now, something else we want to talk about too, maybe somebody said, well, maybe I was exposed years ago, and you recently had a case where someone didn't contact you right off the bat because they were afraid they wouldn't be able to prove it.
Yeah, absolutely. They said, well, how would I prove it? I've done this and this and this and this. And so scientifically, there are links. I mean, if you've worked in areas and you were exposed to that asbestos and you have mesothelioma is caused by asbestos.
Okay.
So you just need to know, don't worry about whether or not you can prove it. That's the job of the attorney. That's the job of your attorney will work with your doctors. So if you have a diagnosis, you need to call a lawyer.
Okay, and that is something to really keep in mind too. So if you've been exposed at all and you have developed mesothelioma, and I didn't know about the stomach cancer.
Yes.
I thought it was just a lung disease.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. It depends on where the fibers
Metal?
stick. Yeah, stick in your body. You ingest them, and then it takes 10, 20, 30 years to turn into a cancer. Yes.
All right. So this is very, very serious. So we learned about a couple of things here today. The firefighting foam cancer that Kim talked about earlier, and of course, mesothelioma. People have any questions about this? What's the easiest way they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, we're always happy to have a phone call and talk to you to see if we can help. Just give us a call at 515-279-2000.
All right. So Kim, great information. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right. We'll be right back. This is Iowa Live.